His name is Gary Pitt.
Good evening, Leicester. Are we well? Now, it's good to be here at the Y Theatre, although it's a shame to hear that the Who, What, Where, When and How theatres didn't survive lockdown. Now, one of the pieces of advice you're often given when speaking in public is that it's really helpful to imagine your audience naked. And I must say, looking around the room tonight, you lot absolutely sicken me. Although, credit where credit's due, sir, I didn't know you could get a piercing there. Now, have you ever woken up from a nap to find yourself spooning the person you went to sleep next to? Well, it's nice, isn't it? Well, it's also the reason I'm not allowed to catch a bus in Leicester anymore. Have we got any couples in tonight? Less than the first half, interesting. When I got together with my girlfriend, a mutual friend of ours told me that she was quite mousy, which I didn't really understand until I came home early from work one day and I found her gnawing at my skirting boards. But I'm a lover, not a fighter. You hear that, don't you? I'm a lover, not a fighter, which made it very, very awkward when I tried to sign up for my local karate club recently. Although, in my defense, they shouldn't make those outfits quite so easy to get off. Now, I shouldn't joke about below-the-belt matters. I have quite a sensitive medical condition where both of my testicles look exactly the same, although my doctor has assured me that there's a vast difference between them. Now, I had quite an unusual childhood, actually. My parents are related, husband and wife. I went back to see my parents for Christmas last year, and when I got back, my dad said to me, he said, "The house feels full when you're home." And I thought, all right, just call me fat. But I'm not doing it this year. We're not going back for Christmas. I can't face eating festive leftovers for days on end. I'm giving them up. I've gone cold turkey. Now, I'm originally from the southwest, where our hobbies include things such as rugby, cheese rolling, cow tipping. So I was incredibly underwhelmed when I read in the local paper the other day that Leicester's seen a real increase in incidents of fly tipping. I thought, well, it's nothing, they're absolutely tiny. What are you bragging about? Guide dogs. Isn't that just a case of the colourblind leading the blind? I actually found out I was colourblind recently, and let me tell you, that came as a real bolt from the green. I had to take my dog to the vet to be put down recently. She told him he was a bad boy and he was shit at fetch. I knew I'd failed my scuba diving exam, deep down. I did want to be a scuba diver, but it turns out I just couldn't handle the pressure. But actually, I'm not really cut out for a job where I have to use my hands or anything like that. I'm not a practical person. I was in my house the other day and I was looking at the sink. There was nothing on TV, and I thought to myself, U-bends, how do they work? I just can't get my head round them. But before we go on, I should mention my plumber. I said I'd give him a plug tonight, which is unusual. Hang on. Because I thought he'd buy them wholesale. A friend of mine asked me the other day if I'd help him train to be a boxing referee. I said, well, you can count me out. You see defibrillators everywhere nowadays, don't you? You know, in old telephone boxes, they pin them up against the side of buildings. Well, I was driving through town last week and I saw one against the wall of a funeral director's. And I thought to myself, well, it's a bit late for that. And also, surely that's got to be bad for business. Unless, of course, they're chasing the live ones out, giving them a bit of a shock, I suppose. Now, I was arrested last year, very briefly, after helping to smuggle a ton of Greek cheese past UK customs. It was a fait accompli. I know, it's pretty cheesy. Don't worry, I won't do any more. I know you camembert them. Now, I was worried that a joke like that might kill the mood, and I find that when my mood is low, I like to improve it by performing minor surgery on small tribespeople from the Congo Basin region. It doesn't help for long, but it is a little pick-me-up. I don't believe that blood poisoning is a real disease. I have skepticemia. I watched a documentary recently about the band Bon Jovi and was surprised to learn that their lead singer's real name is Jonathan. Jonathan Bonathan Jovi. Hey, I see Dion Dublin's recording a new TV show in Palestine. Homes under the Hamas. Right, unfortunately, you've been lovely. Unfortunately, that's very nearly my time with you tonight. I will just leave you with this, and I'm sure I'll see some of you in the bar later. Just a bit of a word of advice. If you are drinking tonight, I would avoid the wine. The wine they sold here used to be a lot better, but then maybe I am looking back on things with rosé tinted spectacles. Now, I noticed as we came through the bar earlier, I noticed they had a jukebox here. And I thought, oh, that's unusual. You don't see those very often. And I said to one of my fellow acts, I said, oh, look at that. They've got a jukebox. And he said, I've never seen a jukebox. But I did once watch a Marquis wrestle. Thank you, Leicester. That's been my time. You've been great. Thank you.